Okay, so I made a previous anxiety video, and I wanted to kind of make another little bit better one that more kind of gives the whole story and the complete, just everything. So basically, how it started was, well, not how it started, but basically I've had anxiety and dealt with all that since I was little. The anxiety, I think, first started when I was a baby. Obviously I didn't like automatically know when I was when I was a baby and automatically knew I had anxiety, My mom first noticed that, and I've always had anxiety when I was little, and I've had it since, another thing, me and Christiana have a lot in common too, well, minus the anxiety, and I'm absolutely glad she's getting better. I wish mine would get better. Mine's still the same. And I'm so glad that she's coping with it without medication and things like that. Where there's me, where I need medication, and otherwise I can't control it. Anyways, so, like Christiana, I've had it was horrible in school. I was also homeschooled, and that was part of the reason why. Actually, I've been homeschooled off and on, but, since I was, like, in elementary school and kindergarten and all that, it was just horrible. I'd cry, and just, even up until high school, I'd cry and beg my mom not to let me go to school, and, I'd beg her to let me stay home. I'd cry and cry and cry and just freak the fuck out. And, it really sucked. I think when I first got homeschooled, it was in 3rd or 4th grade. And then in 5th grade, I went back to school. Went to school through 8th grade. Got pulled out in the middle of 8th grade. Got homeschooled again. And then went back to school again in 11th grade. And so it was either 7th or 8th grade. I think it was 8th grade. First of all, I've always been made fun of. I've always been called weird because I never fucking talked. Never. Like, even when teachers were calling me or someone asked me, something, I just wouldn't say anything. I would just usually either nod my head or not. Like, everyone thought it was fucking weird or fucking, everyone's like, oh, why didn't you talk? I was just like, I don't know. So I was really, really, really shy. On top of, obviously my anxiety and whatever, and everything else. So, and in 8th grade too, I remember how bad that was, because I had this kid in almost all my classes that constantly sat there and made fun of me. Constantly sat there and was like, you're ugly. Like, okay, my self-esteem and confidence is horrible to begin with. I mean, if you can't tell, the acne, so I never feel, everyone's like, oh, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous. I'm like, I appreciate the comments so much, but I just don't feel it with all this. I've dealt with this for years, and I wash my face. I've washed my face twice a day, and 2 to 3 times a day, use all the creams, I go to the dermatologist, and it's just like, ugh, and I can't be on Accutane, like I said in my other video. I think I said that, I think I mentioned it. I can't be on Accutane because of the pill I'm taking for my anxiety and whatnot, so, that's not an option right now, and I'm just trying to find a way to get rid of it, because it's really frustrating. I'll look at my face, and I just can't stand it just gets to the point where I can't stand looking at myself, and it's kind of hard recording right now. Even my, actually just recorded a makeup tutorial, so yeah, you'll be able to see all this without makeup, so I'm sorry in advance, and yeah. But anyways, back to the point. This kid always, like, made fun of me, constantly called me ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly, and, you know, I've been making fun of my nose. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a small nose. It's pretty... I mean, I guess it wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for this bump. I don't know, maybe I bumped my nose or something when I was little, I don't know. But the reason for this, I got it from my dad's side of the family, so that's, aside my acne, it's a huge insecurity. I mean, I think I've thought about a nose job and things like that, but, I feel a little bit, I mean, it's not as bad now. I think I've grown into it, and it doesn't look as big as it used to be, so it doesn't, I don't know, but I get it from my dad's side of the family, and, because my dad's side of the family is Armenian, so I am Armenian, and plus there's Italian and everything else, which is funny, because I'm mostly Armenian, and I have Italian, and it's so weird, because I'm so white, and I burn like a lobster, but, anyways, back to the point again. Yeah, my nose, my acne is just or two big insecurities. And, my body can sometimes be an insecurity. Too, because everyone's like, oh, you're so skinny, you need to eat more. It's like, okay, shut the fuck up. Yes, I'm fucking skinny, but I've always been skinny. I've always been really skinny, but I'm naturally that way. I'm 5'6", and I've actually just recently weighed myself, and I'm down to like 111 pounds, and that's kind of scary. I should be 120, and I was 120 for a while, and then, but I think the medicine I'm taking too, and plus with stress and everything, my weight has gone down, so. But I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm trying to at least boost my weight up, a little bit more, and at least get to 115, so it's not, so I'm like, you know, but, yeah, but yeah, and when I went back to school in 11th grade, that was another thing that was horrible too. My depression and anxiety got, I think, a lot worse too, because I moved to New York, and no, don't be like, oh, okay, oh, New York, no, 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 it was upstate New York, it was horrible. If anyone knew the fucking place that I moved to, it was just like, oh my god, I'm not even gonna go into any fucking details, because that was a fucking nightmare. I was like, to my mom, what the fuck, like, why the fuck did you move me here? There's like, it was in the fucking boonies, up in the mountains, middle of nowhere. It was a piece of shit. The people were pieces of shit, and it just, oh, I'm not even gonna go into any major details, but that pretty much sums it up. But anyways, and I was born in Maryland, and near DC, and I grew up in Virginia and DC, so I'm used to being around, things to do, big places, big, cities, and around, I can't be confined. I mean, I'm home most of the time anyway, but still, I have to do stuff, and I have to, it's just, but anyways, 11th grade, god, that was fucking hell. That school was hell too. Excuse me. But like I said before, I would cry before, even in 11th grade, I would cry and beg my mom not to go to school, and she'd kept me home a couple times because, you know, she knew what I was dealing with, so, and I couldn't, like, and I used to, like, hide out in the bathroom stalls when I went to school because I didn't want to deal with school, so I'd, like, hide up in the bathroom stall and cry, or just stay there until, like, you know, some classes were over and I was able to go home. And, you know, I always went to and even, I remember one time I was really sick, not feeling well at all, because I was on Paxil at the time, and, I think I forgot to take my medicine that morning, and I felt really, really sick, because that's what it did when I forgot to take it, or waiting for, you know, basically when I didn't take it, and, yeah, I got really nauseous, really sick, my head was hurting, the fucking nurse wouldn't even let me go home, or let me call my mom, and it was so, and like I said, it was in a small town, so my house and the school were like a few blocks away from each other, so I can't even tell you how many times I fucking walked out of that place and just walked home because I was sick of it. I was done. I've always hated fucking school, and this is, like, even fucking refused to go to college because of, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, it's not like I don't want to get an education or anything, because I have an education because I've been homeschooled, but, you know, if it comes to it, I'll take, you know, I'm going to take online classes or something, but I refuse to go to school or deal with any, yeah, I was back in 11th grade, and, fuck, and then I eventually got pulled out, and, yeah. Eventually got pulled out again, and, that was the end of that, and I was so fucking relieved. Then we ended up moving a little bit afterwards, but, and we moved to where I live now, and so everything, well, this place isn't a big city either, so it's just kind of, but, you know, it didn't change my anxiety or anything like that, so, but, it sucks. It just fucking sucks dealing with this shit. I also deal with, I'm pretty damn sure I'm bipolar. I wouldn't be surprised considering my constant mood swings. I can be okay one second, and I could just be, like, fucking throwing shit around my room and just crying my eyes out the next. And, I have panic attacks that, like, will sneak up out of nowhere, and it's just, like, ugh. It's just a horrible fucking feeling. In my chest is constantly, I always constantly have that tight feeling in my chest, and I constantly have my heart, like, races, and it's just, it's a horrible feeling. I feel like my heart is going to explode, because whether it's going to a public place, being surrounded by people, I can't eat in a fucking restaurant, because it's just, like, it gets me going, and it's just, like, ugh. Any public place for that matter, just anywhere. Even where my own family, like, when they're all there, it's just like, ugh. And plus, you know, I have a little bit of claustrophobia as well, so it's just kind of like, that doesn't help. And I also deal with a little bit of OCD, which is, you know, I constantly wash my hands. I haven't always done that. A couple years ago, I think around, I was like 15, 16, I got into, like, that hand washing thing, and I did it until my hands were red and dry and just, like, bleeding, and, ugh. And, it was okay. I stopped that for a while, and then, came back, and then it's happening again. I mean, it's been off and on, but not as bad as it has been, and as bad as it has now, because there are times where I have to have soap. I have, preferably antibacterial, otherwise if I touch anything and it's just like, I see something that looks weird or something, my mind gets going, and it's just like, ugh, like, I'm afraid of catching something, or catching, and, and like I said, it's 10 times worse, I think I mentioned it in my other video, it's 10 times worse if, I have a cut or something, and I constantly, like, using antibacterial stuff, and, like, constantly wash my hands, like, constantly cleaning the cuts, and it's like, okay, I know that's what you have an immune system for, but I just can't control it. It's just like, okay, you're supposed to have germs here and there, which, okay, yeah, but, you know, when you have a problem like this, especially when you have anxiety too, it's just, your mind gets going, you think things that aren't actually going to happen, or that actually aren't there, or, you know, and I try to remind myself about that, but I just can't. It's like, everything, like, and I just can't control it. I feel like there's someone else living inside of me, or someone else controlling me, and making me do these crazy things, like, and another thing me and Christiana have in common too, I feel fucking insane. Fucking insane. Like, I remember when she told me, or said something about her anxiety and all her anxiety symptoms, I was like, dude, what the fuck? That's fucking insane, because, like, I thought I was the only one that was, you know, had those weird, you know, problems, and I was just like, whoa. Because it's, and, yeah. But, yeah, back to the OCD thing, my mind gets going, and I just constantly wash my hands until they're all dry and, flaky and red, and, ugh. So my mind gets going, and I just constantly think things that aren't, you know, gonna happen, and just, it fucking sucks. And I don't know if you can tell at the moment, but they're pretty fucked up and fucking dry right now, but, and, yeah. It's not too bad right now, but it's been worse. It's been really bad. So yeah. And I'm still trying to look for a decent medicine that's, you know, working for me, so I can finally just get rid of all these fucking, you know, like Christiana said, I wish I could sit there and say that I'm fine and not deal with this shit, but, unfortunately, I'm dealing with it, and I'm not fucking fine. It really sucks. It's like, you know, and again, another thing she said, it's like, it's fucked up how people treat it, like, you know, fake it, or, like, and another thing that really annoys me, too, is when people are like, oh, it's not a real problem, it's not a big deal, you get over it, get over yourself. Fuck you. Fuck you. You fucking try dealing with severe anxiety, and you fucking see how fucking fun it is. Because it's not a fucking fun thing to deal with. Especially when you're, like, constantly, you know, on different medications, and you're trying to find one that works, and it just, like, I can't even find a medication that works right now, and I mean, that's probably why my anxiety medicine, the past anxiety medicines haven't been working, because it's probably, you know, the bipolar that's doing it, so. So, I honestly feel really crazy talking about all this, but, if anyone's going through any issues, like this, you're not alone. You're not alone. You'll get through it. I keep telling myself that I'm gonna, you know, get through it and hopefully control it and hopefully get all this, you know, straightened out and finally make, you know, not let it take over me anymore. Because it really sucks when you're just sitting in your room constantly freaking out about even the smallest things, and you're having panic attacks that sneak up out of nowhere. Like, that's what mine do. And having to worry about medicine, having to worry about just, you know, every little thing, and it's just, it sucks. But anyone else who's going through this thing, I hope that you all, you know, get through it and feel better and just overcome this craziness. I hope I can too one day. I mean, unfortunately, I might have to be on medicine for the rest of my life because I just can't control it on my own. Even no matter how hard I've tried, but I think everything will be okay. I mean, I have some other personal problems too that kind of make me so. But I hope for the best for myself and for everyone else who's going through all this stuff. So yeah. Oh, and another thing. I don't really, I guess I could, I'll add some, like, advice and stuff in here for people. It might not be very helpful, but, when you're going through, like, a panic attack or something, which, God, or if you're getting nervous or something, what I do is just sing or listen to music and just try to calm myself. And so just focus your mind on something you love, something that keeps your mind busy. And I know there are people who do cut and self-harm, and I used to do that. I don't do it anymore, and it wasn't like a huge deal for me when it happened. When I first, I was probably like 15, around when it happened, when I started doing it, and that's when I started getting really, that's when I started getting my medication. It's, for those people who self-harm and cut, it's not worth, you know, the pain to, you know, that's why I stopped, because I was just like, okay, this is fucking, you know, this is fucked. It's not worth, you know, because they hurt, and it hurts. You don't want open wounds. You don't want to, you know, focus your mind on something else. Plus, it's not worth possibly getting an infection or something. I'm not, that's another thing that freaks me out. I was like, yeah, I'll stop this. Because I didn't want to, you know, risk scars, you know. I don't have any scars because they faded, but, because it wasn't very many, but that's when I figured, I was like, okay, I can't do this. This is, no. So, for anyone who, you know, is dealing with that, just focus your mind on something else. Just think about the risks that come with it, too. It's not good. Plus, you really want to end up with a bunch of scars all over your body from painful, you know, memories or whatever. It's not worth it. So, I hope you all overcome this, feel better. If you haven't found a medicine if you're on medication and you haven't found one that works for you yet, I hope you find one. I'm still on the hunt for one myself. And I hope I can find one that really helps. But anyways, I'll talk to you all soon.